So you think you know the difference between art and design. But what if everything you've ever been taught has been outdated? Avoid the struggle to define yourself,
If you're doing it, stop it. Get some help.
because understanding the current collision of these two professions is not simply educational for artists and designers, it is critical for your futures. Let's reveal how these two separate creative skills will become increasingly identical in the professional scene in the years to come. Welcome to Cartoon Artwork. I'm Arty, and get ready to understand the relationship between art and design.
I'm Michael Jordan. McDonald's restaurants have given me this time to talk to you about something we both really care about.
Art's expression versus design's function. The ongoing debate over art's expression against design's function is like a river running through human history, transforming how we view creativity and utility. Historically, the division was clearer. Classical paintings, such as Leonardo da Vinci's or Michelangelo's Renaissance masterpieces, were produced largely to encourage introspection, emotion, and philosophical contemplation. I wish I was paid to make people question their lives. Aww. And these masterpieces encouraged audiences to consider beauty, spirituality, and human nature. Their worth was intimately linked to the presentation of ideas and emotions, commonly beyond practical use. In contrast, ancient tools like stone axes and early pottery demonstrated the practical element of design. These devices were designed to solve particular difficulties: cutting, cooking, storing, displaying a direct engagement with human needs. So philosophically, these are the main distinctions. Art aims inward. It is about evoking thought, stirring emotions, and exploring the human condition. It's super deep. It is frequently subjective, open-ended, and intended to be contemplated. Design, on the other hand, aims outward. It focuses on interactive features, usability, and problem-solving. It is objective and evaluated on how effective it is. In early centuries, this line felt more pronounced, almost as if bad art was easier to pinpoint because the criteria was more connected to emotional depth, technical competence, and symbolic meaning.
Diabetes.
Get some help.
And bad design was indicated by its inability to fulfill its purpose. The separation was as clear as day and night. Today, though, these differences blur almost completely as art incorporates functional elements and design embraces emotive features. But the age-old dispute still reminds us of their distinct roles in the human experience. One asks us to look within, and the other asks us to engage with the outside world. So when did these lines start to blur? The blurring of the line
Get some help.
The blurring of the line between art and design has been more apparent in the 21st century, encouraged by, you guessed it, technological advancements and evolving cultural standards. Here are some important developments that demonstrate this changing landscape. The rise of UI/UX design, where aesthetics meet functionality. Design is no longer simply about making things operate effectively. It's about creating experiences that are intuitive, engaging, and even beautiful. The best UI/UX designers combine artistic sensibility with functionality to create digital environments that are as emotionally engaging as they are efficient. This combination elevates design to the level of an art form, challenging the long-held belief that design is merely utilitarian. Digital art and NFTs, or the new frontiers of artistic value. Now, the development of digital art and NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, fundamentally altered our understanding of art. Also, it turns out a digitally created image coded to be rare and marketable raises some complicated questions, such as, is it art because it exhibits creativity and evokes emotions? Is it basically intended to be a product with financial appeal? Does the fact that the NFT's work is frequently determined by rarity and market hype undermine conventional artistic criticism, which has traditionally centered on workmanship, originality, and cultural commentary? These are some big questions. But this conflict reveals how business demands and technology have altered the standards for creative merit, sometimes valuing novelty and uniqueness over thoughtfulness. One example is brand identity and storytelling, logos that are now narrative art. modern branding extends beyond simple symbols now. A logo today frequently represents a story, principles, and an emotional connection with the viewer. Now, this elevates logos to narrative pieces by combining design and storytelling in ways that encourage interpretation and emotional engagement, like the characteristics normally associated with art. And brands create identities that resonate emotionally, transforming their visual marks from functional icons to cultural creations. And this basically challenges our preconceptions of what valuable creative labor involves.
McDonald's wants you to give yourself a chance to find out all the wonderful things you really can be. And so do I.
Now, why do businesses love the blurry zone?
Kids.
Because it produces tangible results. The combination of art and design in the business sector displays an effective dynamic where business requirements embrace the hazy boundary between expression and function. In short, companies figured out that they could get people to buy their products by advertising them to appear interesting and open to interpretation.
If you don't use drugs, you can just about be anything you want to be.
For example, emotional connection through design, or the art of branding. Businesses are increasingly aware that artful branding promotes emotional connections with customers. A brand identity that is authentic, emotive, and visually appealing encourages loyalty and trust. And this psychological connection usually mirrors the impact of traditional art, but its goal is clear: to achieve monetary gains. If you want to learn more, check out my video about the art of branding. Is financial success equivalent to artistic merit? Not necessarily, but what's frequently appreciated in business is excellent design that uses artistic aspects to engage and convince. The commercial environment shifts the emphasis from contemplative depth to strategic emotional effect, combining art's language and design's purpose. Now, design thinking, the creativity beyond functionality. Design thinking has elevated creative problem solving beyond its utility. In fact, it encourages empathy for users, frequent exploration, and broad perspectives. And their functional yet expressive solutions are practical but also provocative.
Kids are the reason McDonald's sponsors their Get It Straight program, a national drug awareness effort.
In this space, creativity serves as the missing link between practicality and expression, expanding and combining both fields, such as interactive exhibitions, immersive retail settings, and inventive product designs that serve as both aesthetic statements and instruments. In this space, creativity serves as the missing link between practicality and expression, expanding and combining both fields. The economic advantage, aka the art and design equation. Businesses that mix art and design systematically generally gain a competitive advantage. Products and brands that are relevant and memorable stand out in crowded economies. And the marriage of creative storytelling and practical design leads to increased commercial success and customer retention, not to mention the cultural significance. But does this economic fusion change what we consider to be good or bad art? I mean, it has caused a lot of confusion. The traditional art world values creativity, profoundness, and cultural criticism. And commercial creative work focuses on engagement, clarity, and brand alignment. This balance encourages us to consider creative excellence as a spectrum that influences context, purpose, and of course, the audience. Next time you come across a piece that makes you scratch your head, try to ask yourself questions like, is it bad art or is it just mediocre? Is it bad art or is it just blatant plagiarism? Is it bad art or is it just a work in progress? And most importantly, is it art or design? And is it doing its job? Now here are some iconic examples of art and design convergence today. The very intersection of art and design in today's world is vividly reflected in classic examples that push traditional limits, pushing us to reconsider what creativity actually means. Let's take Apple's product design. Elegance at the boundary of art and practicality. Apple's products are frequently regarded as the pinnacle of simple design combined with a user-friendly interface. The sleek lines, clear surfaces, and precise detailing create a feeling of elegance and simplicity that is almost sculptural, similar to modern art. But does Apple's design count as art or exceptional design? The solution lies in its dual nature. It is both aesthetically pleasing and practical. Its beauty is intricately linked to its utility, giving it a real illustration of how design can include artistic elements while still remaining efficient. There's also high fashion photography that combines artistic expression with commercial purpose. Fashion photography is at a fascinating crossroads. These photographs are created with artistic vision, narrative complexity, and emotional impact, yet the end goal is to sell designer goods. And the photographs frequently go beyond advertising by becoming independent creative statements that investigate identity, culture, and beauty. However, their economic aim compromises their status as pure art. And this conflict challenges the notion that art must be free of market influence in order to be valuable. Lastly but not least, museum installations, interactive art, and design hybrids. Contemporary museum exhibits increasingly combine visual spectacle and interaction, resulting in immersive experiences that engage many senses and encourage involvement. And these works are visually striking and philosophically deep, frequently incorporating technology and design concepts to improve accessibility and communication. Their interactive aspects stretches the boundaries of what pure art means. Some traditionalists may claim that the interaction itself takes away from the work's tranquil nature, but many regard it as a whole creative experience that expands art and fosters connections. These case studies demonstrate how the art-design boundary is a fluid space where creativity adapts, evolves, and reflects the intricacies of modern life. They encourage us to adopt a broader, diversified view of creativity that values both expression and function. But what about navigating the future? What does this mean for creatives and consumers? As the boundary between art and design continues to blur,
Stop it. Get some help.
the future for both creatives and consumers is filled with possibilities and complexities. Versatility and collaboration are key skills for today's creatives. Artists and designers now navigate a world in which creative expression and utilitarian design have become inseparable, and this necessitates a larger skill set. Versatility requires mastering both the emotive language of art and the problem-solving precision of design. Adaptability involves responding and challenging the quickly changing technology and cultural trends. Collaboration entails working across disciplines for designers, artists, marketers, and engineers to create integrated experiences. And through the consumer perspective, we should be appreciating hybrid creativity in a visual culture. In an age flooded with images and experiences, customers are increasingly drawn to hybrid creative outputs, with works that combine beauty, purpose, and narrative. The traditional concept of bad art is less obvious as success is frequently assessed by impact, engagement, and utility rather than only by artistic intent or skill. The practicality of design frequently outweighs pure creative ambition, yet customers continue to seek authenticity and psychological connection, blurring the distinction between economic appeal and artistic merit. And perhaps we should be embracing this fluidity. The constant debate over what is considered art and design is not a problem to be solved, but rather a dynamic topic to be embraced. Because the future will demand for openness to flexible boundaries, we should be celebrating the innovation that defies traditional definitions and welcome fresh perspectives and interactions, giving mindful attention to the cultural, social, and ethical elements of creative labor in a planned environment. By embracing this flexibility, both creatives and consumers may help shape a thriving, inclusive creative ecosystem in which art and design educate, inspire, and serve humanity's evolving needs. It's also about creating a world where creativity is as diverse as the human experience. Thank you so much for listening. Please like and share this video with everyone you know, and hit that bell icon for future notifications. Feel free to comment down below, and please subscribe. As always, good luck with your art.
I'm Michael Jordan. McDonald's restaurants have given me this time to talk to you about something we both really care about: drugs.